Good bright and early morning to you. It is cold and it's about to get colder. I think almost all of us are about to be hit with a nice, really cold Christmas Eve down here in some of the south areas, which I think is actually kind of sweeping the country. So we are trying to get things ready for this extreme cold. The one big thing that we have to pay attention to is if our hide doesn't get above freezing, we are not going to be anywhere close to that. So that really impacts the water lines. Primarily, we run a water hose to water our animals, so you have to make sure that you have that emptied out and cleaned out. But man, we have some prepping to do before we go celebrating Christmas, I think. Just checked on the fire in the store. That's a thing that we'll have to do too. The wood burning stove is its primary heat, and because we have all those glass bottles and everything there, it's okay if it gets below freezing, but not that cold. So I'm probably gonna have to keep a consistent fire in there, maybe even bring some supplemental heat just to try to keep it, you know, closer to that 32 mark rather than the 9 and 6 degrees that we're about to have, just to make sure nothing cracks, breaks, because that'd be a lot of money wasted. So we gotta keep that nice and warm. Another thing is our little barn kitty cats. Gotta make sure they stay nice and warm. And the one good thing about that is, you know, we use this hay for us. However, this hay is quite the spot for the cats to go hide and stay warm and find some spots. So they get on up in here, they dig them a little hole, and they stay nice and warm in all this hay up in here. We've been going through it pretty good, but wood's a good check. We'll have enough to get through all that and get through some of this extreme cold, but we always need to be collecting more wood. Hi, Dowie. Hi, sweet little Dowie. Sweet little Dowie. Hi, goats. Hi, Anna. Molly, we friends yet? Yeah, maybe, oh, okay. Hi, Lola. Oh, Lucy. Inside house Lucy. Lester, what you doing over there looking all majestic? Whoa, son, that's what I'm talking about. Show off for us. Hi, Shirley. Dolly, so jealous. What's up, Ethel? Big old Ethel. What's up, big guy? Get on up here, Tilly. Come join the party. So the next thing is making sure this barn is good and dry with plenty of bedding. So it looks like we are still good and dry, but we need to get some more bedding in here for them to make some homes, because this barn area turns into a daggone wind tunnel right here. I mean, with the winds blowing, it's like a tornado up in here. It's just shooting straight through here. But thankfully in their stalls, they can get out of that wind because it does have walls on pretty much all four sides with just a little hose. So if we have enough bedding in the stalls, they can get in there and stay warm. And they bundle up together. I don't know if you noticed or not, but they all look puffed up, like their cheeks look fatter. They know when it's cold, and they know how to warm themselves up in a situation. And that's what they're doing right now. Uh-oh, interesting little titty tat. What is that? Bear on, no, they're gonna headbutt you. Don't nobody want to see that. Buster the Tank. What are you up to, big guy? So if you didn't know, Buster and Anna are Sonnens, full-blooded Sonnens. They're awesome goats. We love Sonnens. They have a very fun personality. They're very friendly. And they produce the most milk. Sonnens, in our opinion, produce the most milk. Molly here is a Sonnen mixed with a mini Nubian. So she's a unique little character. We're excited to see how she grows up. Lola, she's a Nigerian dwarf. Hi, Lola, and your puffy cheeks. Lucy is a Nupine. So her mama was she's a Sonnen mixed with a Nupine because she's her baby. But her daddy was a Nupine, which is a Nubian Alpine mix. Shirley over here is a Nupine. Sweet Shirley. She's got the Nubian ears, but she's got more of the color of her daddy, so she looks just like a Nupine besides those ears. But she's real sweet. That's one of the bigger questions we get is like, what breed should I get for goats? Obviously, we're just dairy, so we can only speak on that behalf. And all three of those breeds, Nubians, Alpines, and Sonnens, are our three favorites. They all have different pros and cons. Like Sonnens, like I said, they have the best personality in our opinion, and they produce the most amount of milk. Nubians are a little bit more moodier. They're a little bit, I guess, princesses kind of thing. It's on their time. But they have the heaviest cream line. So if you're looking for cream, they have that. But what we notice is that you don't get a whole bunch of milk out of them compared to the Sonnens. Nupines, however, which are a Nubian Alpine mix, in our opinion, are the hardiest. So they are the most disease resistant, parasite resistant, and they are just strong goats. They seem to have great births. They're great mamas. And they just don't seem to have as many issues as the Saanens and the Nubians. And now I don't want to deter from them because the Saanens and Nubians don't seem to have a huge problem. But if somebody gets diarrhea or if we have to worry about birth or mothering, it seems like it's usually that breed that we're falling on, and not so much the Nupines. Those just take it right on. And that's that Alpine in their body. Alpines are hardier goats. Angel, you're just looking real chunky. Little Nigerian George, when they get that belly going, man, they just all plumping around. Potato on 4 sticks. And so all of our goats are pregnant now. Samson, our mini Nubian, which is a mix of a Nubian and a Nigerian dwarf, as the father to everyone. Gosh, y'all, in a little, well, I guess it's not too early for you all. We kept him in here. He's got everybody bred, so probably February, March, we should have a lot of babies hitting the ground, and that's pretty exciting. What I'm doing right now is basically like an inventory check, checking to see what we need to get, what we need to do as the end of the week approaches, because we're gonna be okay for most of the week. We just got to get through the end. The end is when the code's really gonna hit, so we have plenty of time to prep. What's up, Bo Hank? Staring at me over there. So that's the primary thing, just making sure people have plenty of hay. We'll probably up the hay because hay does help keep them warm inside. And then also just make sure they have plenty of bedding to cuddle up and stay warm, and everything should be a-okay. The biggest thing is water. Obviously, it's gonna be hard to keep that not froze. So you're gonna have to come repeatedly throughout the day and make sure that you're breaking that up, because once you break it at that low of temps, it's just gonna freeze right back up. So you just need to keep breaking it ever so often. And then making sure you have full water tanks before that night happens, because if the day comes and your water hoses or your water's froze up and you can't get water out, then that's a problem for everyone. So you just want to make sure that you have full tanks. Maybe grab a couple extra. That way they won't run out in case you can't get water in there. So that's just a little tip to make sure that you don't have that worry on the colder of days. What's up, T-Bird? So T-Bird, he runs the outside. Some days he thinks he's the boss. Sometimes he understands his line. But for the most part, T-Bird has really calmed down. He's been around with us ever since we started our channel. He is a Polish rooster, and it's his top. His top is what sells it for me. And he's so goofy. T-Bird. Are you done, T-Bird? He's on guard because I'm behind him. We battle. Me, him, and Jed. Sometimes he just tries to tackle for the macho man of the farm, but he just never wins. Sometimes he learns. Watch, as soon as I turn my back and walk away, he'll either try to come after me or he'll cock-a-doodle-doo, thinking that he won. But he knows we're on to him. There he is. See, told you. Showed you, son. Better keep stepping. So we got plenty of work to do, nothing too crazy, but it's stuff that needs to be done. And it's something that you gotta just stay aware of. You know, you always gotta be watching that weather, seeing what's coming at you, making sure that you're adjusting your farm to where everybody can stay nice and cozy. One thing I will say, dogs. Dogs always seems to be brought up. I'm like, do you bring your dogs in? Do you leave them out? What do you do with your dogs? So we will bring Daisy in because Daisy's kind of the house dog now with Ellie. Rusty, we put in the garage so he can stay out of the wind. But our Great Pyrenees, this is something that it's kind of like having a Jersey cow and people seeing their bones showing because that's just how they're made. People think that Great Pyrenees get coated like everything else does. Well, they have a double coat. They're made for winter. They're made for this. However, they both have the barn where they sleep, where they'll stay warm. But your Great Pyrenees don't need it. They prefer to be out in this. I know it's hard for our brains to fathom and think, that doesn't make any sense. You need to bring them in because they're pads in their nose. Don't disagree, but they keep those warm. They are smart animals. They survive outside. These are outside animals, and they have learned how to live and survive in this situation. As long as you give them what they would go find in nature. What they would go find in nature is a way to get out of the wind, something not wet that's staying dry, and a place to stay warm. Because then from there they can tuck and they can cover their nose and they'll make it just fine. So don't stress out too much. Just do the same thing you're doing for all your other animals and your dogs will find that warmth too. But yeah, it's Christmas week. That's super exciting. We're excited to have just a whole bunch of fun this week. The kids are on Christmas break, vacation. I've just got a little bit of work I got to do, and then I'm off because we're going on vacation after that. So I didn't take it off this week. But it's gonna be a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun things to bring to you all. I hope you all are staying warm. I hope you are enjoying the holiday. Believe me, I know there's tough times that we're all feeling. Everybody's going through something, but I'm hoping at least this week you're able to put that stuff behind you or move on from it and really just focus in on your family, whatever it is that you have. You know, there's all kinds of different definitions of family, and it's whatever matters the most to you. So let's try to focus on that. Let's try to have a really good week. Let's try to really get into the spirit. Let's talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That never puts you in a bad mood. The more you do that, the better mood you always get into. I hope you keep your minds focused. I hope you stay happy, because this time can be a depressed, dark time for a lot of people, and I totally get it. And it's not always the ones that you can see it too. Remember, everybody's going through something, so we can't judge, we can't compare our lives on whose is better and whose is worse. Let's just all know that we're all going through something, and we need to have a good time this week. And let's celebrate life, let's celebrate us, let's celebrate Jesus, let's celebrate being alive, because ultimately that is the greatest gift, and here we are living it. Let's make it worth it. Y'all, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button for me. We love you. Till the next one.